Sometimes it is not what they say, it is how they say it, or even how long it takes to say it. In today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down powerful clues about your everyday texting behavior that reveals how someone truly feels about you. So, in case you're new here, I am Lucy Baby, and on this channel, we talk about love, about relationship, about marriage. So, sit tight and enjoy today's video. So, if you've ever felt confused after receiving a text from someone you care about, listen closely because in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down those texting habits that quietly scream that you're not a priority, or even worse, that you're being played. So what are those texting clues, those texting habits that reveals where you truly stand in a relationship? But of course, before I begin with the clues, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. Also like and comment on my videos. Keep the comments coming. They are very, very important. Thank you so much for that. So what are the texting clues, those texting habits that reveal where you truly stand in that relationship? Number one, they never initiate conversations. Yes, you're always the one reaching out. If you don't call that person can never call you. If you don't text, they don't text you back. In fact, if you don't try to call or text, you won't even hear from them for the rest of the day, for days, for weeks. Or maybe you text that person in the morning, very early in the morning, maybe around 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. You don't even get a reply from them for the rest of the day. You're always the one reaching out. They don't even mind not hearing from you for a very long time. It is obviously a sign that you're the one carrying that relationship alone. When they always reply with one word answers, that is another sign. Yes, for example, maybe you ask that person, how was your day? The person replies, fine. How are you doing? Fine. One word answers. No emotion, no form of care, not even trying to know, okay, when you ask them such question, they will be like, fine, and you. Not even trying to reach out in any way. Not even trying to show care in any way. Or maybe it could be that it was not like that before. You at the early stage of that relationship, you guys were cool. Whenever you ask how are you, the person will be like fine, and you know, trying to reach out, trying to care, trying to show emotion. But over time you notice a shift, that it's no longer as it used to be. Now it's more like one word answers whenever you're trying to reach out, and the person doesn't even reach out to you. But whenever you try to reach out to that person, it's always one word answer. They don't even try to communicate properly. It's a sign that that person's heart is no longer in that relationship, and this is not something that happens just once in a while. It happens all the time. Their hearts might no longer be in that relationship. If they always take hours, so many hours, or even days to reply your messages, that is a sign. Yes, you're in a relationship with a person. You're trying to reach out. Anytime you try to you send the person a message, you know that that person is online. Obviously they are online. They are posting things on their WhatsApp status or in their Instagram stories, or they are tweeting anything. You know that they're online, but you send them messages, it delivers but they don't read it, or even worse, they read it and ignore the message. What does it show? You as a guy, you're in a relationship with your babe. Obviously you've been trying to reach out, you've been trying to have conversations about your relationship with her, but she doesn't even reply your messages. She doesn't take your calls. But you see that she's online. She posts things on her status. She's obviously online. You checked and she's always online. But she never replies on messages. What does it show? This is not just silence. It is disinterest. That is where that person stands in that relationship. The person does not show interest anymore. It's not just something that happened once. It happens all the time. You're always the one trying to reach out, but they don't reply your message. They don't take your calls till after so many hours or so many days. It is disinterest. If they don't ask questions about you, they don't even care to ask. Even the few times that, okay, maybe they try to reply your messages, they don't even try to even, you know, show emotional care at all. You ask, how are you doing? They're like, fine. No, I'm fine, and you? I'm fine, and you? No, how is work? How are you doing? How is life? How is family? Nothing. That is definitely a sign of emotional detachment. If they only text you when they want something, that is definitely a bad sign. Yeah, they only text you when they are lonely, or they are bored, or they want attention, when they want to ask you for something. That is definitely a bad sign. Because how can you say you're in a relationship with a person, you send that person a message, they ghost you all through that week, and suddenly appear in your DM on Friday night to reply a message you sent how many days ago? And they are replying with miss you texts. My dear, that is not love. That is them trying to find access. When they are always using texts to avoid difficult conversations, that is definitely a bad sign. Yes, anytime you're trying to talk things through with that person you say you're in a relationship with, you're trying to talk about the relationship to find out what the problem is, to talk things through, maybe like over the phone or in person, they're always avoiding it. Instead, they prefer texts where they can send vague texts or even unclear texts. You bring up important conversations that you guys need to have, and they always like, we'll talk about it later, but they never talk about it later. They never allow you to talk about it later. That is not maturity. Avoiding difficult conversations is not maturity, that is avoidance. If they suddenly always become dry or somehow distant or act weird whenever you try to pour out your heart to them, that is definitely a bad sign. Yes, anytime you try to pour out your heart with them, or you tell your partner something really deep, they answer you with something weird, something off, or even worse, they try to change the topic all the time. I mean, what is relationship without vulnerability? Whenever they react in an abnormal way, anytime you pour out your heart to that person, or anytime you share something deep with that person, that is emotional distance. If they're always avoiding clarity, even over texts, that is indeed a problem. You're trying to ask questions. You're trying to ask, okay, what are we? Where is this relationship heading? What are we doing? Anytime you try to, reach out to that person to ask these questions about your relationship, they're always sounding manipulative. They don't even want you to know where you stand in that relationship. They are always avoiding clarity. That is indeed a very bad sign. Because every relationship must be defined. If they never follow you up, that is a bad sign. You're sick and you tell your partner, your so-called partner that you're in a relationship with, they don't even check up on you. They don't even call you or text you to know how you're doing. Nothing. And maybe after so many days or so many weeks, they now remember that you exist and now ask you, how are you doing? Does that make sense? Or maybe you tell your partner, so-called partner, that you're traveling, or maybe you're going for a job interview. They don't even ask you about it. No follow-up, no form of care or emotion of nothing. That is high-level emotional absence. Where do you think you stand in such a relationship? If they never apologize, especially over texts, they hurt you. They know that they hurt you. Instead of them to apologize, they begin to say things like, please, I don't want to argue. Or they begin to blame you. Or they even go mute. Begin to give you silent treatment and all of that. That is high level immaturity. A good partner should be able to take ownership. A healthy person should be able to take responsibility for their actions. When they read your messages all the time and they don't reply, like it's obvious. You send them a message, you see that it was delivered, and obviously they read that message and didn't reply. Even when the messages are about something serious, about maybe when you're vulnerable. Yes, you send them a message about something very, very serious. They read it and still not reply. It shows how much your heart means to them. So where do you think you stand in such a relationship? If they're always joking about commitment, anytime you guys are texting each other, maybe you guys are chatting, having a conversation about relationship, about marriage, the future and all of those things. And for example, you guys mention marriage things, and the person is like, no, 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 I'm not even ready to settle down. I'm allergic to marriage. Someone that in your mind you think, you feel, or you feel that you're in a serious relationship with, a relationship that is heading to marriage, and you hear that person telling you over the text, over the phone, that they are allergic to marriage, where does that keep you in that relationship? Or maybe you guys are talking about kids, and that person is like, no, 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 I don't like kids. I can't deal with them. I'm not going to have kids. This. They're always joking about commitment. They might be saying it in a sarcastic way, but my dear, do not ignore such comments. Such serious comments about commitment. Do you know what it means for somebody to be saying that they are allergic to marriage? That means marriage is not even in their vocab anytime soon. Where does that leave you in that relationship? You need to pay attention to little details like this. And finally, for today's end, they always make you feel confused or unsafe or even anxious about that relationship anytime you guys are done texting each other. That you guys are talking, having a conversation about the relationship, and they always make you question yourself, question the relationship, question everything. Like, where is this relationship even heading to? The more you talk to them about the relationship, the more confused you get, the more anxious you get, the more unsafe you feel. What do you think is your stand in such a relationship? Because love brings clarity. And you need that clarity to know where you stand in that relationship. So if that clarity is not there, my dear, you need to ask questions and you need direct answers. So my dear, yes, you deserve someone that texts you, that chats you like they really mean it. Someone that brings you peace. Someone that follows you up, that really cares about you, not someone that makes you anxious. Not someone that makes you confused about that relationship. So if today's video made you think twice about a person, made you think twice about your relationship, maybe it's time for you to have a rethink, to calm down and think about the whole situation. So that is all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Thanks so much for listening. And please don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in another episode with me.